Politics is shaping the lives of Nigerians in different ways. There are people who practice this for a living. They live, they sleep, they eat politics. That is one of such people that we will be meeting today as we are right now at the abode of Right Honorable Farouk Adamu Aliyu. He will be telling us so much about how politics is shaping the lives of Nigerians. And of course, we'll get to meet him all on Executive Discourse. I am Ololade Adinijadele. Let's meet the Right Honorable. Good day, Honorable.
Hi, welcome to my executive mansion.
Thank you very much. And thanks for allowing us into your abode.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch NTA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
The show is Executive Discuss, and like I said, we're here at the abode of Right Honorable Farouk Adamu Aliyu. He has obliged us by allowing us into his abode, and it's time now for us to find out what it is that makes this man tick. Honorable, let's start from the very basics. Tell us about yourself, your early years growing up and all of that. Tell us.
Well, I was born in Birnikudu, Jigawa State. That's where I come from, 60 years ago. And that's where I had my early education. My father was a judge, so we were moving from place to place. I mean, from one town to another, but mostly in Birnikudu. That's my hometown. That's where I went to my primary school. And after that, I went on to government secondary school, Dambata, in Kano State now. Then after that, I went to school in eastern part of Europe, a country that was called Yugoslavia, then, now Republic of Serbia. After that, came back. I read mechanical engineering. Came back, worked a little, ventured into business, politics, business and politics. So in brief, that's what you have here, Farouk.
Yes, Farouk. You're more known as a politician, maybe because politics is the in thing. Will we be right to say perhaps because you're the son of a judge, it was a natural flow for you to go into legislature? Or what informed your decision to go into politics?
Okay, actually I had disdain for politicians and politics as well. I remember very well one day I went to my hometown and some older guy, called me and said, "Look, people like you need to join politics." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because you're doing something else. Most people try to come into politics just to make ends meet." So I gave it a thought. And that was sometimes in the year 2000, January, precisely. And so when I came back, that's in my hometown, then I came back to Kano where I lived. I gave it a thought that, look, maybe that man was right. Maybe we need to give back to the people. Because I was a privileged child. What I'm saying, where I come from, not very many of us have seen the four walls of classroom. So I was lucky to have been privileged to come from a home that were also privileged, lucky to have gone to school. So, and I went to school on scholarship all through.
Wow.
Everything paid for by the people. So I thought, yeah, then it was probably fair I come back, to give to the people. And I did come back. And honestly, I thought my hometown was a village when I started this venture of politicking. But when I started going to the rural areas, then I knew that it would be sinful for anybody that has had the privilege of going to school in this country not to have ventured into politics as well, or something that could help the people. Because when I was going to those villages, I found out that in this country there were places, and there are still places that had no impact of government whatsoever.
At all.
At all. That you will go to a place, the only presence of governors is through radio. That in the radio they know there is one person called president or a governor or some sorts. So I said, wow. And then if you meet the people, you see an old man or a young man will come out to say something that would be so divine that, look, it was just by sheer privilege and providence and God's will that God did not reverse the case. Because you will find people saying things that you never knew of. So those kind of things really gingered me, and thank God I did, and I'm still doing that.
And you're still doing that. Okay, we will come back to politics. But, as it is an executive discourse, basically what we do is try to make people know other sides to our guests. You studied mechanical engineering. So it's safe to say you're an engineer. You've gone into business in one form or the other. Tell us other sides to you which people do not know.
Okay. Yes, I did engineering. I worked briefly in, Kano State Water Resources and Engineering Construction Agency, a company called RECA at that time. It's still there. Then from there, I was moved to Ministry of Education Works Department. And sometimes in 1983, or 85, I think, yes, I just got tired of working. I didn't know what to do. So I went to my boss, the chief engineer of that time. I told him, look, I'm leaving. He said, why? I said, I'm tired. He said, okay. So I left work. When I was leaving, I was given a parting gift of a contract of 18,000 naira to build a toilet block. I still remember. And I sold that contract for 1,800 naira.
Wow.
That was like the seed money I had, 1,800 naira. So what was I going to do? I ventured into carpentry. So when you said engineer, I would rather be called a carpenter.
A carpenter.
Chief carpenter, actually. That's what people know me of, I started as a roadside carpenter. hitting nail on wood to make sense. Small center table, and so on. And a roadside, real roadside.
Wow.
Because I was just tired of working. So as I was doing that on Ibrahim Tayo Road in Kano, sometimes in the year 1986, I think, then Governor Daku
Okay.
of Sokoto State, I was introduced to him, who gave me a contract of 1 million naira that time.
Wow.
And when I went to him, I was introduced to him by late Waziri of Dutse, Air Vice Marshal Mukhtar Mohammed, who is a family friend. When I went to Daku, and may God bless him, he's still alive. You know, he said, "You said you're a roadside carpenter?" I said, "Yes." "Okay, let me try you. We'll give you a job. And if you do well, we give you more." So he gave us a contract of 1 million naira to furnish Sokoto Guest Inn that time.
Okay.
You know, rest house. It was called rest house. We did the job. I remember at that time, you know, I used to go to Sabongari Market in Kano to buy the wood, the nails, and so on. I was taking part. I had some workers, but I was also practicing. I was part of the labor. And back in the days also, we used to drive from Kano to Sokoto in the middle of the night just to save 1 day hotel bill.
Wow.
So that if you leave in the night,
You get there in the morning.
Yes, so you save the hotel money, you know. And thank God we did that job. He got so impressed and gave us the contract to furnish the Sokoto Government House.
Wow.
So that's how it started. From that roadside carpenter, from that contract, the monies we got from that, were able to, sometimes in 1990, buy a factory at 1.5 million of that time, which I still own. And so we started from probably 20 persons up to 250 people working in the factory. Then from there, we were furnishing government houses all over the place, schools, private, you know, weddings and so on in this part of the country, you know. So I would rather be called a carpenter. And that was what I was doing till the year 2000, you know, 2001, 2003 when I came to National Assembly. But so carpentry, it's my aim, my thing. And so probably if you call me a carpenter, I'll be more honorable carpenter.
All right.
So honestly, carpentry, that's what brought me to limelight back in the days before politics.
All right. Still talking carpentry, you know, brought you to limelight before, you know, politics. How much of carpentry do you still do?
A lot. In fact, you know, we have modernized, of course, you know, from time to time, you know, because carpentry has gotten to the level of perfection in this country. You know, there is no amount of furniture that cannot be, no amount of furniture work that cannot be done in this country. So we decided to go into now specific, way into more of doors, tables, like office.
Yes, office furnishing.
Yes, exactly. So we have brand new equipment now that we just finished installing. We are now semi-automated, you know, in the factory. So we've grown from like using basic equipment to now modern equipment, computerized equipment. So I think I can be called executive carpenter now.
An executive honorable carpenter.
Exactly. Yes.
Now, still talking carpentry, what does your day, how does your day pan out when you're not doing politics and you're facing your business of carpentry?
Well, I ventured into not only carpentry, honestly. Carpentry is in Kano, that's where the factory is. I stay more in Abuja. So I ventured also into the engineering now. We do some consulting, some consultancy work in engineering and also some engineering work. We're into electrical mechanical, that's what we do. So I'm more into one, carpentry, two, electrical mechanical, consultancy and contracting. So when I'm not politicking, I'm into business. But unfortunately, the politics has taken over more of the business because even if I'm discussing business, politics will come in.
Definitely.
Yeah. So now probably I can say I'm more of a politician than a businessman.
Okay, well, my next question might sound cliche, especially considering the fact that, yes, you're deeply involved in politics. But being a businessman on the side, you said you're almost fully automated now with your carpentry work, you do a lot of engineering works and all of that. How easy or otherwise is it to do business in Nigeria?
Extremely difficult, honestly. When we started, I remember back in the days, we had issues with electricity, and it's still there in the country. You find out that why, let's talk about furniture now. Why foreign furniture are much cheaper than the ones produced here, even though they're of equal standards, because of the electricity. Normal. Because the labor is cheap, but the amount of money you spend in, generating your electricity, so it's really difficult. Then the government has given back to the furniture manufacturers in the way that furniture importation is banned. Any imported furniture you see is smuggled. So the government on its own part, where the government didn't provide, it has also subsidized. Because by trying to make furniture manufacturers, have the market. So, yes, it's difficult, but government has done its bit. Not just this government. All along, maybe for the last 15 or so years, 20 years, furniture importation into this country is banned. So difficult, yes, but then we're doing very well. Furniture manufacturers across the country, like in Kano, the roadside manufacturers are probably doing better than us.
Wow.
Yeah, there are a lot of roadside furniture manufacturers in Lagos too.
Yes.
I've seen them all over the place. Because the country is huge and the market is there for everybody, for all of us. The high end and the low end, the middle and so on. So I think, yes, difficult, but okay. We cannot complain too much, honestly. We cannot, the furniture manufacturers.
Smile into the bands.
Yes and no, yes. The general economy of the country, it's slowed down. So in that regards, not smiling, but smiling.
All right. Still along the lines of your business, any of your offsprings towing your line of business?
No, for now. I have a daughter who's, in fact, none of them, honestly.
None.
Yeah, none of them. One is married, the rest, I'm trying to introduce them into the business because I'm also into large-scale farming. My two other older daughters, I have 25 and 23-year-old daughters that I'm trying to introduce into farming. They're sluggish in it. They don't seem to be interested, but I'll be kicking them to make sure they, at least, because none of them read engineering, computing and so on. But yes, I'm trying to introduce them into the business. I have girls, more of girls. Yes. The eldest boy I have is just 17 years, so he's still in school. But the girls that have finished are not too interested in the business, but I keep begging them.
Perhaps the boy might be.
I hope so.
Now to politics. You, in recent times, at least in the course of the last, say, 10 years or more, you've been identified more as a radical politician. You've made some, what some people would want to call outlandish statements. What is responsible for this angle to your politicking?
Okay, you see, I told you how, first of all, I saw the condition of the people in this country. And so I got very angry with us, the elites, me inclusive, that how dare us, how dare, treat people with such disdain. And then coming into politics, I also found out that most politicians, most of us don't tell the truth. Most of us would rather lie. So, and then when I started like with APP, which was an opposition party. And it is very, very easy for you to be in opposition party, and honestly, the lies when we started, what I saw in politicians then and now, people saying what they don't mean, or outright lies, or deceit. So that was what made me angry and maybe more of a radical, really. Wherever most of the elites go, even though I'm one of them, I don't tell, because I just felt that it's sinful for us to feed on the people and still treat them shabbily. So really that's why I decided to become what I am. But then old age is catching up with me now, and now I'm also in the ruling party.
Yes, we will come to you being in the ruling party, yes. Because I was just going to ask you, you have, from time you'd been in opposition, now you're in the ruling party. Do you still subscribe to the fact that a lot of politicians are actually not truthful?
Yes, of course.
Even you being in the ruling party?
Including members of my party. There are a lot of, insincere politicians across board. Because sadly in this country, it's got nothing to do with party. It's got nothing to do with where you come from. There are good people everywhere in this country, and there are bad people also in this country. So it's not about the party, but about the personalities. And honestly, let me also say, the little difference is that's why in this country, no ideology yet, but leadership. Who is the leader? Who does what? So the leaders that, were leading this country, most of them lied, honestly. And I will not subscribe to lying to the public. So my leader, who happens to be the president now, we were in opposition and so on. One thing about him I know, honestly, he's not one of the people that will lie to the public or will deceive. What you see is what you get. You might not like him, you might not like us, you might not like the way we do things, but that's the sincerity in the leadership. That there could be mistakes, as everybody's human. So I tend to go with the president because I believe he has not started lying, and I don't think he will. He's an old man, So as I said, no ideology in this country, but who is the leader? And the way we came up with the president, we were telling the people the truth all the time.
Nigeria, having come thus far, has been bedeviled with all sorts of challenges, of which corruption has been a focal point. But we also know that there are other issues that we have in Nigeria. From your perspective, from the angle of someone who's been opportune to be in there and to know what exactly the true picture and situation is, aside corruption, what are our issues?
Our issues are still the elites. The elites are even the problem before the corruption, because you see the connivance of the elites to dupe the people of this country. That's our problem. I am a Fulani man, a Muslim. I have friends across the country, Christians, Yoruba, all over. At the level of the elites, there is no Muslim or Christian. We are a family. But at the level of our followership, the kind of hatred which we, the elites, are doing nothing. Because leadership has got nothing to do with creed, tribe, religion, or where you come from. There could be a good Christian leader and there could be a bad Muslim leader. There could be a good Yoruba leader and a bad Fulani leader. Vice versa. Or there could be a good Igbo leader and a bad Yoruba leader. But then the elites have decided in this country to meet at the level, at the top level, connive, dupe, share, whatever. At the lower level, everybody goes back to his cocoon and points finger at the other tribe or the other religion. So I think that is our major problem. And once the people of this country, the lower level, understand that, look, a Christian is not an enemy to a Muslim. An Igbo man is not an enemy to a Hausa man. When the people understand that, everything will fall in place. So that if any leader goes to his community to start castigating the other tribe or the other region, or he said, no, don't come here. We've seen you and him at a wedding, dancing. So what are you talking about? So this is the kind of thing that the lower level people need to understand. The unity among the elites, that's not what is there down the level. When there is crisis, who suffers? The lower level.
It's the lower level.
So I call on all of us, the elites, to as much as possible try to have the fear of God. That the unity amongst us should trickle down to the level of lower people, so that there will be unity in this country. Because when we are united, when a government is formed, let us not look at it as a government of one side of the country. Because if a president or a governor does anything wrong, it will affect everybody. Because in every state there are multiple of ethnicity and in all places. So let's hold our leaders accountable, not because of where they come from. But you see, the elites have found it convenient that if you do anything wrong, you run back to your people. So
and your people will receive you with open arms.
Have cover. Back, I remember someday in this country, I don't want to mention names, a particular leader of this country was taken to court. Leader from South, I can even say South, was taken to court over corruption. The people of his community demonstrated that it is our oil money. Why are you prosecuting that? That kind of a thing. And probably he has a mansion in the village. He's distributing peanuts to the people. They have refused to understand that, look, it is not just their own money. We are called Nigeria today. So the money belongs everywhere. But even they are also suffering. Also in religious crisis. You find that one stupid Muslim leader, cleric, or stupid Christian cleric will make some statement that he knows that the God we
serve.
We serve, will not tolerate that and does not preach that, those kind of things. So as long as the leaders and those preachers are also elites, so we found out that's why I said connivance of the elites at higher level to malign the country, to divide the country. So honestly, this is what we should think of, and that's what the masses should start looking at, should start asking us questions. Like, even if you come home with money,
they should ask for the source.
What happened? How come? What did you do? So those kind of things, I think at that level, we need to grow and start holding leaders accountable. Yeah.
Now, in holding leaders accountable, a lot of Nigerians will say that poverty is the bane of a lot of these issues that we have. That, of course, it's been said that a hungry man is an angry man. But in our own case, the reverse is is the situation. A hungry man is not angry anymore, but willing to take everything that comes his or her way just to get food on the table. Now, Poverty has often been ascribed as the bane of our issues in Nigeria. You are talking of holding our leaders accountable, holding the elite accountable. How will we get you and I to hold ourselves accountable when people are hungry?
You know, I will agree with you and not agree with you. In 2014, when Jonathan was the president of this country, everybody came around to get him out of government. Everybody, including those that are hungry, you know. So which means we still have that unity.
In spite of poverty.
In spite of poverty. Which, if this our government of APC is not doing right, I think the people of this country should also rally around and throw us out of office. So that's it. Because look, it's about us, Nigeria, not about any person or any individual or any group of people. If what APC is doing now is not right, the people don't like it, they should change this government. That's it. Because the country belongs to all of us. So I think why I said I don't, that's why I said I don't agree with you. But yes, I also agree with you because, yes, there is poverty in the country. But, so thinking back to the 2015, no matter how poor people are, should also try to wait for the day when we politicians will come back to them. No matter how poor they are, they should collect from us and still vote us out if we don't do what they want us to do. Period. Because the elites or the politicians will come with money. Doing something wrong in government, and then you come with money. I call on the people to collect the money from whichever party. Because I said this country belongs to Nigerians, not APC, not PDP, not any party. The party is just a medium. But the country belongs to all of us. Anybody who does not do right to the people of this country should be voted out across parties. And poverty or no poverty, we should not allow people that we cannot hold accountable. At the level of the elites, most of the elites will not want to be held accountable. So the masses still have to do it. Until such a time, that's why you see this fight against corruption. When people say that it's selective, well, APC is not going to be in power for life. So if anybody thinks that APC is only after those in opposition, one day we'll be out of government. Let them also be after us. Someday, one day we'll be after each other, which means if you know you're not going to do anything that is right, you will not take government work. You will not take public work. So let us support the government. Whichever government comes, tries to fight corruption. Jonathan came, he did his bit. There are some people, like some of the cases that this government has convicted, started during Jonathan or Obasanjo's time. So which means time will catch up with you. So that someday, one day, the cycle will be full. Only person that will come and do the right thing will take up jobs to serve the public, because there will be day of reckoning. Governor, you spend 8 years, you come out, you end up in jail. President, you spend 8 years, come out and end up in jail. So instead of you to go and end up in jail, you rather come and do the right thing. So I think so far so good.
So far so good. Now for Honorable Farouk. Yes, we know you're in the ruling party. Any hopes of returning to the legislature? Or what do we expect from you?
Well, for now, I'm the leader of APC in Jigawa State. I come from.
Yes.
So I work along with the governor of the state, the legislature of the state, and I'm also a leader at the national level. We assist the president and the party in trying to mend fences, trying to show where we are going wrong, tell it as it is, because there are some of us who fear no one in government, in or out of government. There are some of us, I can say I am one of the president's men. That's the truth. I'm one of the people also who will go and tell Mr. President, Ogasa, I think what we're doing here is wrong. I think what we're doing here is right. And so people like us have that responsibility. So I cannot come out and say, this is what I want to do now. I'm getting old. Also, the younger ones are agitating that we feel
not too young to rule.
Exactly, we fill their space and so on. So, but time will determine whether I'm going to come back to legislature or anything. But for now, I would rather remain as a party leader and to ensure there is unity and harmony in the party, which you will never get anyway, but then still try to see how we could mend fences amongst the party men, also in government, where the government is doing right. We say kudos to the government. Where the government is doing wrong, we tell it, sometimes in public and mostly in private.
In private.
Yes.
Now, before I let you go, before we move on to other things on the show, I must ask you this very quick question. We've been on this democratic journey for quite a while now. In your estimation, how have we fared as a nation practicing democracy?
I think it's all right. It's okay. Obasanjo has done very well in this country. No matter what anybody says, he's done well because Obasanjo is a nationalist. He's a Nigerian, really, to the core. He did his bit. Eradua came, he did well. Jonathan came, he did very well. In spite of everything. And Buhari is there, he's trying his best as well to improve on what they have done. So far, so good. But of course, there are a lot of space for, improvement, such as expenditure in government is too high. The recurrent expenditure is damn too high that us that are in government now are looking into it to see how do you curtail such expenditure. And now to broader, discussion, it's how do we reduce probably the members of National Assembly? Because truthfully, the expenditure in the legislature is too much. Not only National Assembly, state assemblies. So as a nation, probably we have to start looking at, what do we do to reduce expenditure? The total number of public servants are probably 10 million people, probably, in a country. Even if you say 20 million, that's about 10%. That 10% of the population take probably 55% of the resources. Yes, so we cannot live as a nation like this. So this is the discussion that all of us need to come together and say, can we afford this expensive democracy? I think we can ill afford it. That's my personal assessment. Yeah.
But so far,
so very good. Honestly, if nothing, there's a lot of freedom now. Things that you probably could not do during military regime, you can do them now. And also, the country has moved so much in area of technology, agriculture, also even the unity. Because no matter how bad you are, if you want to be a president of this country, no matter how much you don't like other people, you have to pretend. So there's that kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, no matter. Yes. So there's that unity. And in probably trying to deceive people, God might touch your heart. That after all, those people are not bad. And I'm their leader. So I should see everybody as one and the same. So I think there's that progress, but of course a lot of room for improvement.
Thank you so much, Honorable Farouk Adamu Aliyu, for being here with us, for allowing us into your home. But I'm sure we'll be going out to see other sites to you.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure you'll allow us to see your factory and the other things you do in your company.
My farm, we haven't spoken about.
Yes, we
I'll take you to the farm also.
Okay.
Because I'm into agriculture. The president said all of us should go back to farm.
Yes, we should go back.
Yes, and I'll take you to the farm. You'll see it.
All right. Thank you very much once again. The show is still Executive Discourse, and you've heard it from Honorable Farouk Adamu. We're going to be seeing other sides to this man who people see as the politician. A lot of people know him as a president's man, but there's so much more to this man. There's so much that makes him tick. Why not come with us? Still on Executive Discuss.
Under the Maramalu company, so I'm in charge of greenhouse plants. So we are producing tomato with a soilless system. So we have 1 hectare greenhouse, the full modern system. We can check every parameters on computer. So we have a ventilation system, fog system, cooling system, hydrofor system, screen system, shadow system. So every parameters we can check. We are checking on computer.
During our peak period of production, we used to harvest at least 10 tons in a week. Basically, presently we are producing dairy, then we embark on greenhouse production that includes tomato production, fefe, cucumber, and even sunflower we are producing.
Shi Farouk Adamu akwai alaka mai kyau ga ma'aikatansa ga kuma dukkanin ma al'umma, yana gudanar da aiki yadda ya kamata kuma babu danna haƙi, kuma yana gudanar da mu duka abubuwa da ya kamata ya ba mu haƙin yana yi, kuma baya so ya ga cewa an danne haƙin ma'aikata ko ƙanana ko manyan, duk wasu abubuwa na harkar gudanar da aikinsa to yana yin daidai iya bakin ƙoƙarinsa.
My husband is such an upright person. He is generous, and his yes is yes and his no is no. He is not like your usual politician, I must say. Not that because he's my husband, but that's just the truth. He's very compassionate too. I would say politics and business. He's very, very good at both.
Farouk Adamu is a wonderful person. He's a generous person. He's a humanitarian. He has a golden heart. He's always willing to help anybody. He's always ready to listen to whatever you have to say. He's not arrogant. He's not nasty. And he's generally, in a nutshell, he's a wonderful person.
Selfless, giving, honest, blunt, upright. He has made me a very strong and independent person.
My father is an amazing person, very down to earth, very humble, and he's a very nice person, to be honest. My father has impacted my life in a positive way because of how supportive he is. I am where I am today because of his support and understandings.
He's kind, he's thoughtful, he's loyal, he's forgiving to a fault. He is loving, he's caring, he's empathetic, he's compassionate, he is honest. He is brutally honest. He's selfless but selfish when it comes to his kids. I think the best word that describes my father is ideal. He's an ideal man, an ideal politician, an ideal businessman, an ideal farmer. He's an ideal family man. He is an ideal human being, you know, so I think the best word that describes Daddy is ideal.
Growing up with him was fun and it was amazing. He wasn't always available, he's always busy, but with him being a politician, we all understood that. He has impacted my life in a lot of ways. I don't know if I could mention all the ways, but I could tell you I look up to him and he is my role model. He has a lot of strong points. He's very courageous, he's very religious, he's straightforward, and he's always open. My favorite memory with him is us talking about which team is better between Manchester United and Manchester City. He doesn't get a lot of rest. He's always sleeping on the couch. He doesn't get a lot of sleep either.
He has always been encouraging when it came to the career path that I've taken. He has not tried to impose his views or his career choices on me.
He has impacted my life and my career choice. He made sure that I studied what I wanted, where I wanted, and even when I had difficulties, he was there for me. And he never forced me or any of us to do what we didn't want to do.
I consider him as someone who is strong, honest, gentle, and very, very pure. I see him as a father who's always there for me when I needed him. He supports me no matter what, and no matter how many silly mistakes I've made, he will still forgive me. He's always there, and I feel comfortable around him that I can talk to him about anything.
My dad has impacted my life in a positive way. He taught me how to love, how to care for people, how to be honest, and how to be humble.
Shi mutum ne wayayye mai ladabi da biyayya. Kullum in yi wa ko aikinsa aka ya dawo, babansa yana ce musu Allah ya maka albarka. Umar Allah ya maka albarka. Abin da yake ce masa kenan. Yana da son jama'a. Tun yana ƙaraminsa, shi kuma ba mai son hayaniya da tashin hankali ne bai iya ba. Ga yawan taimako. Ko lokacin da ya je Yugoslavia sai ya san ɗan abin da zai makalo ya kawo yara, ya rarraba musu. Tun da ya soma aiki, ya dawo daga karatu ya kama aiki, mahaifinsa ya huta. Komai shi yake a gidan nan. Zai kawo kayan sallah, zai kawo abinci na yau da kullum. Daidai da ice shi zai saya. Baya damuwa da cewa sai wani ya kawo. A'a. Duk yaran nan na bayansa da aka haife su ƙanana a jikinsa suka yi karatu, suka ci, suka sha, tufa. Mazansu da matansu yanzu kowa ya zama wani abu.
First and foremost, he has this huge capacity for patience. And he's a very straightforward person, sometimes straightforward to a fault. And he is very focused and determined. When he determines that he wants to do things this way, he puts in the necessary energy
and effort.
About 40 years, we've been friends with Farouk, and we played together, we did business together, our families were close. He was my best man at my wedding, I was his best man at his wedding.
"24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch ATA International live on your TV, computer, iPad, tablet and phone. Log on to visiontv.co.uk and click on Entertainment, then NTAI. You can also download the iOS or Android app on your mobile devices to watch NTA International on the go, anywhere in the world. NTA International, your window to the world.
That has been a wholesome discussion and a beautiful time with Honorable Farouk Adamu Aliyu. We have seen the different sides to this man, whom we all know as a politician, but interestingly, a farmer, an engineer, a carpenter, and so much more. With that, we've come to the end of another interesting time on Executive Discourse. Let's do this again, same time next week, when we'll bring you another chief executive that will be finding out what other sides there are to the individual. I remain Ololade Adeniji Adele. God bless you and God bless Nigeria. Bye-bye.